Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you are listening to or watching rather, the Bowtie Sidekick here on YouTube. I'm just going to try to do something real quick to make sure you can hear me. I find that it's kind of, at least the sound anyway, is very muddled because I'm using Zoom. Maybe it could be a lot of things, but never. Don't fret, I will actually have closed captioning with each video once I'm done with the series, and you'll be able to, while when you're watching, you'll be able to read what I'm saying too. So not to worry. But this is the last video of the self-care series for the Aries season. I am doing Pisces right now, and so I had so much fun doing this, and thank you so much for being patient with me. I know um, this for me, it was a lot, but it was also a lot of fun. So and if you ever if you resonate with it in any way, shape, or form, by all means, like, um, do not be afraid to um, I definitely want to do what I can to like resonate with, or connect with people. So let's get started with the reading for Pisces. So I want to do a short prayer first before we get started, so I get connected with the Pisces energy. So, dear higher spirit, I pray that you use me as a vessel. Whatever comes through is from you, the highest and the best of my guardians, ancestors, wise ones, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters. Whatever comes through comes from a place of light and love and is rooted in truth. And I pray you put the white light of protection around me and those who are watching this video. And dear Spirit, I pray that you help me tap into Pisces energy. So I already pulled three cards for the Instagram video, and Spirit told me to put those aside, so that's what I did. And so the one card that I got is the Queen of Earth. And what I'm getting from this card, Pisces, and what I got before, is that this is a time to stay grounded, because those who are Pisces, whether it be the sun or moon or rising sign, there is this tendency to be up in the stars, to be in the universe, because we're always pursuing spiritual things. And so, and when I say we, I am a, I there was a time when I thought it was a moon in Pisces. It's still, um, hmm, yes, there was a time when I was told I was a moon in Pisces. And but then I got my chart done, and it said, I was an Aquarius, moon in Aquarius. So I could be a combination of both. Who knows? But all I do know is that I definitely resonate with Pisces, because there's always this pursuit of the spiritual. There's also this pursuit of this the universe and the great unknown that's out there. Dimension jumping, things like that, psychic ability. That's what a lot of us are into. And so, what this card is saying is that even though that stuff is important, this is also the time to bring it down to earth, and so we can be more connected with the people, be more connected with people, be more connected with what's going on here, on this earth in the here and now, because we also have the tendency, and I think a lot of us do this, but we also have the tendency to use this as a form of escapism, um, going off into the universe and tapping into the universe. that's a form of escapism if we're not careful. So basically, what Spirit is saying through this card, the Mother of Earth card, is basically not only like come down to earth, but to nurture your friendships, nurture the time you have with people, nurture the time you have here on this earth. And this brings me to my other card here. Because the Mother of Earth card is also the energy that I got is that this is the time for you to start teaching what you've learned, teaching what you learn while you are going through the universe in different dimensions and reading a lot about psychic ability and things of that nature. So what this card is also saying, this is actually the six of air. And the six of air is saying you're a lot more smarter and a lot more intelligent do you give yourself credit for, Pisces. You're very much an intelligent person, have a lot of wisdom, a lot of spiritual and book wisdom, but you don't believe that because there's this thing that we have to have one um, more we have one type of intelligence and one form of intelligence, and what that card is saying is that that's not the case at all. And you know so many things. You know so many things that a book cannot teach you. Um, and so this is the time for you to start talking to other people about what you know, talking about basically showcasing a lot of your spiritual wisdom and also your book wisdom. This does just because you have spiritual wisdom though, and that you're able to tap into spirit for that wisdom does not mean that you could just work on intuition alone. And a lot of information is changing out there, even from a spiritual standpoint. So what this card is also saying is that all of like read books, read articles, pursue and gather up as much knowledge as you possibly can, so you can be in the know and be up to date. Because there is nothing more dangerous and nothing more detrimental to your spiritual pursuits and what you're supposed to be teaching people is outdated and having outdated information that can be very harmful to those you are working with. So basically, six of air is basically telling you, yes, you're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for, and always be in the know. And so this was upside down, but the King of Water is also saying, do not allow your fears and your emotions to dictate what type of teacher you're going to be. Do not allow any sort of insecurities that you have to to keep you from the world and to keep you from doing what you are meant to do, and that is to be a spiritual teacher in some way, shape, or form. Because, like I said before, there's this huge emphasis on intelligence and how intelligent a person is going to be and what that looks like. And if we, say, for instance, you are someone with a learning disability, or you can't retain information, or you just learn a different way, if you don't do what another teacher does, or something of that nature, then you have the tendency to compare yourself to that individual, and you will literally allow a lot of your fears to paralyze you. You'll go through like a mental and emotional paralysis, and that keeps a lot of light workers down, especially those who are definitely meant and have a gift to to teach to people, and to show the people there is a different way of life. And so what that card is saying, Pisces, is that do not allow do not allow the world to tell you what type of teacher you're going to be, and do not allow your emotions, definitely your fears and your anxieties, keep you from basically do not deny that connection, deny yourself that connection with people that you can have as a spiritual teacher, because your knowledge is very much needed. It may not be like someone else's, but it's definitely needed. So let's see if we have any more cards here for you, Pisces. Your higher spirit, what words of wisdom do you have for Pisces in regards to self-care? So basically, the what I'm getting for you, Pisces, is to your form of self-care is to not only teach others, but to believe in your gifts. Believe in your gifts and believe in your knowledge and believe in your capabilities of relaying that knowledge to people. Because there's a lot of folks out here who are very capable of being teachers and very capable um, of just um, teaching, and yet y'all are afraid. Y'all have an imposter syndrome. A lot of us are actually, myself included. Okay, a lot of us suffer from that, but it do not let it be to the point where you're like keeping yourself from people. And so, um, what you got here is a 5, 6, 7, 8 of water. And so, what this card is basically saying is that make sure you're okay first. Make sure you're okay. Put yourself first. Make sure that you're not blocked. Make sure that you are doing this. You have the best intentions to do this. And you're being yourself at all times. Because when you're not being yourself, people actually see that. When you're not being yourself and you are not spiritually aligned with your teachings, people see that. And so, what this card is saying is that when you are in your element, when you're in your element, Pisces, and when you're not allowing your emotions to get the best of you, people see um, who you are. People are present when you are present, and you just have so much to give to this world. This person is like not only open, but is very vulnerable and very willing to receive as well as give. And so this person is in alignment with their spiritual teachings, alignment with who they are as a person. And so, Pisces, I'm getting that you are to be yourself. Be yourself at all times. Be your authentic self at all times. Don't think that people don't even put in your mind that people think you're weird. Even if they do, that's none of your business. And quite frankly, those aren't the people that are for you. That's not part of your tribe. That's not part of your tribe at all. They are not part of your tribe. So this is a time for you where you present yourself to the world, be your authentic self, and also make sure that you spiritually are capable of teaching the people and being present. Because if not, um, people are going to take advantage of that, and also you're not going to be fulfilling your purpose entirely. So this is why you got this card here. This is actually upside down, but it's the 6 of Earth, and this person is actually cracking. Their armor's cracking. Their whatever shield they put up to protect themselves, or whatever image they presented to the world, is starting to crack. And basically, what this card upside down is saying is that this is not the time. If you try to be someone else or try to be anyone else other than yourself, this is not going to work for you. Um, I mean, way too many times you have tried to be someone else to make someone else comfortable, and you're not in that place anymore. You're definitely not in that place anymore. This is a time to be yourself at all times. Do not wear a shield. Do not wear a mask. Do not be afraid of what the information that you are to present to people. Those who are here to hear your message and to seek your knowledge, they're going to come on their own volition. It doesn't make any sense to be someone else when clearly you are a Pisces through and through, whether it be your moon sign, sun sign, or rising sign. That's a part of your personality. And Pisces are not known for lying. They feel very uncomfortable doing that anyway. When they're not able to be themselves, or when they feel like they have to put up a front, it does not feel correct. And because it's not. And so do not do anything to make yourself appealing to people. Don't do anything extra. It doesn't make any sense for you to be extra. Just be yourself. And this is why, again, this is why you got this card here. This is the Four of Water. The Four of Water is basically saying that, again, do not, this is not the time to put on a mask, because people are going to see through it. Be yourself, love yourself, be gentle with yourself. Um, Allow yourself to feel emotions. Allow yourself to be afraid, to be to you know to be scared of certain things that the world has to offer you, because this world is not rainbows and butterflies and unicorn farts. It's just not. Um, but it doesn't mean that you are to hide, okay? Because this person's mask again is cracking. Is cracking. Okay. So what this card is saying is that, listen, it would be to your detriment, um, to hide your light, and to hide yourself. Okay, to hide who you are, because I noticed that you may not be able to see it because of the lighting here, but this person, not only is their face cracking, but you can see the light beneath the cracks. And so what this card is basically saying is that, Pisces, don't hide your light, because there are certain people that can't handle it for whatever reason. That's not your fault. Um, it's not your fault that people can't handle your truth. They can't handle your authenticity. Um, the reason why throughout this entire spread you're being told to be yourself, as a form of self-care, to be honest with yourself to the core. So when you are able, especially during the Aries season, like, again, like, this is about action. And what this card is basically saying is that your form of self-care during this season is to not only be yourself, but to be yourself in order to connect with other people, on a spiritual level. You're being told that on the spiritual level, you are not to be anyone else or try to pretend to be someone else. There are too many people out here faking it for whatever reason. It is mainly because of some insecurity that they have. It usually has nothing to do, and in fact, it never has anything to do with the outside world. It's about how we feel about ourselves, at the core. So what this is basically saying, this whole spread here, is like, during the Aries season, the action that you are supposed to be taking in order for you to be taking care of yourself is to actually be yourself. Be yourself. Be your weird spiritual self. Okay? Be your emotional, intuitive self, in order for you to be in connection with others who are looking for what you possess. And so, what this card here, you got the mind body card. This is actually a beautiful card here, because the mind and body are aligned. Okay, the mind and body are very much aligned, which means that your mind, your body, and the spirit, um, you are connected to spirit, and spirit is connected to you, and you are connected to yourself at the core. When your mind and body are aligned, spirit can actually connect with you. When your body and your mind are aligned with what spirit has in store for you, you're able to use all your gifts, your intuitive gifts, your spiritual gifts, um, whether it be psychic ability, telekinesis, um, astral projection, so on and so forth. You can use those gifts to help other people, because people will see how whole you are. Okay, the people who are meant to hear your message, they will see your light, they will see your darkness, they will see how you are able to control both, there or be in alignment with both. They will see that you, or they can look into your eyes and see that you are a different person, especially if you are known for being messy. Because there are people who are just who are in the past were extremely messy. Let's be real. A lot of us were a mess, but after working with someone that will help you see your potential and help you see um, your your spiritual growth, um, everyone around you will begin to see those changes because you yourself have has changed and you're able to see those changes in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be a spiritual mentor, very much a spiritual mentor, a powerful one, Pisces. And I think this is a time for you to be a spiritual mentor, which is why you're being asked to read, you're being asked to connect with the people, you're being basically encouraged and pushed throughout the Aries season to connect with as many people as you possibly can so they can see the results of your work and they can see the results that they will want for themselves. You get me? Because because people are now looking for that spiritual enlightenment. People are looking for that spiritual um, that spiritual core that's within themselves. Um, and once they see and what you're able to see, like, look, this is what I've done for myself. This is what especially if you are able to manifest a lot for yourself, whether it be material possessions or a new car or money or just happiness or peace, like inner peace, or a new way to look at the world, a new way for you to channel your emotions to where that to the point where they're not self-destructive or they're not hurting someone else. Um, when people see those differences, um, and how you navigate this world and how you approach the world differently, um, they're going to want what you have, and that's usually how it works, And when it comes to people who are jealous of you, or you're going to have people, Pisces, who are going to do everything they can to shut you down because they are very very much threatened by your influence. I definitely want you to know that they are very. You're going to have people that are very 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 intimidated by your influence, and so they're going to do everything they can to stop that. People have used magic against you, because I'm talking about people in the spiritual community as well as the non-spiritual community. People are going to use their resources against you in some way, shape, or form, whether it be their own influence in the community, their own voice in the community, or someone could be using magic against you. Someone could be spreading rumors about about you being quote unquote crazy, or studying some sort of black magic, or you not doing anything worthwhile, and or you're running away from your problems through spirituality. There's going to be a lot of people talking a lot of stuff about you, talking a lot of shit. But I'm going to be honest with you. Those are the people who see what you have, who see your potential, who see your influence, who see you as a light in someone else's life, and they are upset because it's not them. And they're upset because their words have your words. I'm sorry. Um, are going to start having a lot more weight in the community, in your community, than theirs. And there's like this competition, this competitive mode that's triggered within them. So none of that stuff is your fault, but you are being asked to protect yourself. Protect yourself with your spirit guides. Ask your spirit guides for help. Ask your spirit guides to put the white light of protection around you and your family, or the white light of protection around you and those who you for with. Sorry, I can't talk. Those you care about. Also, ask your ancestors to protect you. Guardian angels, archangels, wise ones. Um, this is a time to do spell work. this is a time to do spell work or learn how to do spell work. That's why you are supposed to have a mentor as well. Um, Someone who is open to you doing that. When I talk about spell work, I'm not talking about putting hex on anybody, or anything of that nature. You ain't got to do all that. But what I am saying is that, as far as protecting yourself, this is a time to do spell work, candle work, writing petitions, asking your ancestors to protect you in the meantime, doing moon rituals to open up your unconscious mind, so you can purge a lot of your negative thinking, um, and replace it with positive affirmations, and doing that more than once. Um, so, and like even when you're sleeping, ask for protection, because your unconscious mind is actually open and very vulnerable while you're sleeping. So protect yourself in that way, because there are people who may attack you with magic in your sleep as well. I'm going to be honest with you. The more you get into this, Pisces, the more you're going to have to protect yourself from a lot of people with ill will, you know. And that's just the nature of the beast when you are a spiritual mentor and you're doing this type of work. Not everyone's going to rock with you. And as a result of that, you are to protect yourself at all costs. Um, I'm not saying that just to make you paranoid, because there's going to be people who are here for you. They're going to be here for you, and please be mindful of those people. Be surround yourself with those individuals who actually believe in what you do. I know for me, it was I found that um, I was very much at ease when I surrounded myself with fellow trans and queer people, um, who practiced what I practice, who believe what I believe. Um, and I didn't have to, for one, I didn't have to validate myself and my identity. But secondly, I was at ease with folks knowing full well they had no ill will against me. And because they thought the way I did, in my mind, they became, for one, they became tribe members already, you know. And I'm also getting to, I see, surround yourself with people who are going, yeah, just surround your people who are going to support you and your work, your spiritual work, someone that you can, bounce ideas off of, you know, so you don't feel alone out here. There's a lot more of us than you think, um, which is why you're told to get out of isolation. This is a time for you to move out of the isolation mode, and start working with other people, connecting with other people. So, for one, you can teach people what you know, connect with people in a way that's authentic and spiritual, but also you're able to connect with people who are like minded. And so, all right. That is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being patient with me throughout this entire series. I had so much fun doing it. If this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Also, hit me up if you actually want a more in-depth private reading. My email is bowtiepsychic@gmail.com. You can also follow the Bowtie Psychic. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I also have a podcast under the same name. Listen to it on. You can listen to it on Anchor FM, Anchor.fm, or any other place where you would listen to a podcast. So, again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for everything. And on that note, I'll be coming at you with more videos, and I'll definitely be doing a series like this again very soon. So, on that note, peace.